Hello fellow Miata people. Today I just want to throw a quick and dirty video together showing you how to replace the upper ball joint without having to remove the upper control arm from the car and without having to use a hydraulic press. And you do that by using this ball joint press. I bought mine from Amazon, but you could rent them from parts stores or get them from Harbor Freight, but I chose the Amazon method. And you'll be using this from the kit, and then there's quite the selection of adapters and cups and stuff. So you'll use this, and then there's 3 of these guys, and you'll use the smallest one, and the rest of it you don't need. Of course, ball joints. Went with Moog. There's a part number. All right, let's get to it. So you'll raise the car up in the air. I'm fortunate enough to have a lift, but you don't need a lift. You could do this in your driveway without a problem. Remove your wheel. After you remove the wheel, there'll be a castle nut. Put this in place here. So there'll be a castle nut, and you'll remove that with the Cotter pin, and then you take a big hammer and you're going to hit right here pretty dang hard, about 10 times, or until it pops out. But it's like that. Except I'm installing a new steering rack, so that's why that happened. And then, let's see. Yep, then you'll remove the Cotter pin, castle nut on the upper ball joint, and you hit right here a bunch of times, just like the tie rod end. You'll be hitting right here till the upper control arm pops up. Then after that, all you'll need to do is remove the lower ball joint with the Knuckle rotor caliper hub. So you'll loosen this nut and remove the bolt. And then there's a bolt underneath the shock right there. And I use a wobble socket to remove that. And then once you do that, this allows you to move this mess out of the way, just like that. So now I'm going to show you how you set it up. Set up the tool. Okay. So you'll have the adapter with the bigger diameter in the middle, and then the spacer sits right on there, pretty easy. Get that out of the way. And then the back side has a ridge that will fit into the C. So yeah, let me set this up real quick. Hopefully you guys can see. All right, so this is the setup to remove the upper ball joint. And what you'll do is you'll tighten this all the way, and it will start pushing up on the upper ball joint, and it will pop up into this area up here. All right, let's see what happened. Nice. Popped it right out. Easy peasy. Control arm's still in place. Didn't have to touch it. It's awesome. Alright, I'm going to get the new upper ball joint set in place. I'll get the tools set up, and I'll be right back. I got the new upper ball joint set in place. No adapter on the top. Just going to use the bare tool. The bottom, you'll use an adapter this time with the biggest kind of opening socket area facing down. Use a small spacer. Slide that in there. And then I'm going to run this up and get it set, and then show you that in a second. Alright, the tool's set, and you can see when you tighten this guy, it's going to put force and push the upper ball joint down, press it into the upper control arm, and the spacer allows it to have space to get pressed in the upper control arm. So I'm going to run that in with my impact, and I'll let you know how it goes. Yep, that pressed in really smooth and easy. Sweet. Now I'm going to show you how to put the C-clip on and the rubber boot. Be right back. There's the snap ring C-clip thingy. And then see the top groove. Let me focus it. There's a top groove up there. So squeeze the snap ring pliers. Oh, it's twisting. Get up there. Yeah, that snap ring's pretty flimsy. So you open it up using the snap ring pliers, and then you use your other hand to stabilize the snap ring to prevent it from twisting, and then you push it in the groove. Now I'm going to get the rubber boot and show you how to press that on. Okay, here's the rubber boot. And this thing does not go on nicely. It's right around here. It's like made of metal or something. And it just doesn't press on by hand. So I think 36 is the hub nut size. So grab your hub nut socket, and that thing slides in there. And then I'm going to use it as a little press with some big channel locks. Okay, after a good squeeze, that boot slides right onto the upper ball joint, and works great. Let's see. There we go. Ta-da! Lastly, you'll thread in that zert fitting by hand as far as you can, and then use a 7mm wrench or socket and ratchet to snug it up. Don't tighten it too much because they break very easy. And of course, I got to put all this crap back together, torque to spec. I also need to install a power steering rack and then go get an alignment. After that, we'll get back to the racetrack. See ya.